Hi, Leo. This is going to be your Sun, Moon, and Rising sign video for May 2025. I didn't say on the other videos. If this doesn't resonate with you, check back to your Moon and Rising sign. If you'd like to book a reading with me, simply go to the web address right there, HiddenLotusTarot.com. I have several packages. Simply fill out the booking form, submit your payment, and I will contact you back. And the thing is, I don't make people wait for their readings. My turnaround time is 48 to 72 hours. Let's get started with the reading because I'm really behind. I had lots of doctor's appointments this week. I even went to see my neurologist, but that's another story. So let's turn the camera around. I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. I'm going to put another shuffle on the cards and a rifle. I always like for you to see me deal the cards. Been some really interesting readings thus far. But the readings are always interesting to me. They tell a great many stories and they have a lot of lessons that you can learn. I learn from them all the time. So, let's get the deck. Here we go. A 9-card spread. So here we go. The Tower card. The Hermit card. The Four of Swords. Next row, the Devil. The Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. Last row, the Queen of Cups. The Sun card. And the Temperance. What is over the entire reading? It's a Death card. My gosh, you got the 3 most spirit cards all in one spread. I have the Tower, the Devil, and the Death card. Let me look. What do I have? I don't have much. I have mostly major arcana. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana, which are your spiritual lessons. I have 2 swords, a pentacle, and a cup. That's it. That's it. The swords represent your thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. The pentacles represent either finances or doing something. And cups simply represent the emotional quotient of the situation, what you feel, how you feel about it. Right in the center, we have the Ace of Coins, Pentacles. And all aces represent simply an opportunity. And you have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to be spiritually, emotionally, physically in the right space to accept something new. So the Ace of Coins can be a financial opportunity that comes to you, or it can be the doing of something, taking a new path. See the path right there? So that's what something is going to change for you. That's a given because I have the Ace of Swords here. And I'll explain in a minute. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future. interplay of the cards. At the top, I have the Tower card. And basically, the Tower card is just saying, expect the unexpected. So you can be in the situation right now, started early. You can be in the middle of the situation, or you can be at the end of the situation. It just depends on the story that you have going on in your life. And the Tower can say, expect the unexpected. It's about building up the structures in your mind that you think are safe and secure, that will last forever. So like a relationship or a job, and suddenly the rug is pulled out from under you, you lose your job, or the relationship breaks up. So you should always be expecting the unexpected sometime, because the universe abhors a vacuum. Nothing stays the same. And I think if you are not already in this situation, at some point in May, something is going to happen that completely takes you by surprise. It doesn't say it's a bad thing or a good thing. It just takes you by surprise. And if you look at the card, it's the only man-made structure in the tarot. So this is about the man-made structures that you build up in your mind. The lightning at the top knocks the crown off. It be something that will suddenly be like an epiphany. Oh, this is why that happened. Or that's why that happened. You learn something from it. And sometimes I have seen this talk about a flood in somebody's basement. I just had to throw that out. I don't know where it came from, but it came out. And next up we have the Hermit, which is a 9. And 9s are moments of pause and reflection, a completion on focus of events. And there you stand with the lantern. So the Hermit stands for, meditation, contemplation. It can even be like, I feel like I'm so alone. But you have the lantern to help light the way. So the Hermit is not just a scholar, he's also a teacher. What did you learn from this event? Are you really alone? Are you the only person that this happened to? No, you're not. Because life doesn't work that way. And so when something happens to you like that, you are able to learn from the experience. You can contemplate, meditate on it very deeply, and come up with some answers so that you can share what you know with the world or another individual who's going through the same thing. And then we come to the Four of Swords. Fours stand for a stable foundation, but this is about communication, thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, and ideas. Already know that what you thought was not going to last forever, it proved it to you. And this card can also be about not being able to speak to anybody because of what has happened to you. That's why I think you feel so alone. It says that there was a previous conflict within a situation because of 3 swords on the wall. But this is an effigy. So I call this the ghosting card. You have to remove yourself from the scene. It's about rest, relaxation, stilling the mind, concentrating and focusing on your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health. So you can't speak to anybody. Perhaps it happens so fast that you have no words. But here you have a 4th sword. So whatever the conflict is, when you get back into your right self, you can stand up and take the sword and cut through the bullshit. Okay? And then we come to the Devil. The Devil rules the sign Capricorn, is ruled by the planet Saturn. And Saturn makes you fearful of what could happen or possibly happen. But it also represents hard work and commitment. So we see here we have two people chained at the base of the devil. And so what the devil represents is, what do you commit yourself to? Do you want a big house and a fancy car? Or do you just want to get your kid through school, through college? Everybody's definition of success is different. So are you going to work hard to do those things? What are you willing to give up in the quest to get those things? But the devil also stands for the realities of living on earth and the earthly desires. So it's talking about cars, money, eating good, sex, drugs, rock and roll. It's about also temptation. But the devil says that you can never be chained in such a way that you cannot be free. It talks about sometimes power and control issues, somebody trying to exert power over you for whatever reason. It can say that something looms dark, something bad is going to happen, but it turns out to be okay. So it's not a negative card by any means. And then we go over here to the Ace of Swords, which is the most powerful ace in the deck. And the Ace of Swords says when it appears in a reading, something is going to change. It's inevitable. You can't change it. You can't stop it. If you look here, it's coming. And the ace, but it's a sword. And so it can be a double-edged message about whatever is going to happen. It's going to be a change. It doesn't say it's going to be a good change or a bad change. Only you, what you think of the situation, the outcome, will dictate how you go forward. If it's all negative thoughts, if you're worried and being anxious about everything, you're bound to have a bad time. You have the devil riding your back. But if you think positively, you can turn the situation around and see the good in it. Even if it was something bad, you feel that was bad that happened to you, there's a different side. Another side to the situation. And maybe you'll get there in time. Because I can see that you, even though this is a Leo reading, I feel that you are all in your emotions, or will be all in your emotions about it. Basically concentrating on perhaps some things of the past. What it was like before. Because she's faced to the past. To the left. But then, suddenly, the sun comes out. And the sun is the most positive card in the entire tarot. And it says that growth, abundance, fertility, success, happiness, all those things can be yours. If you know how to think about it. And it ends in the Temperance, which talks about economy and moderation in all things. It also speaks about the ability to balance out the emotions. See, the angel has one foot in the water and the other foot on land. That's saying grounded. And a lot of times people come to me for readings and they want to know if they are on the right path. I say, yes, you're on the right path. Why? Especially when this card shows up, because there's the path. And that's your goal right there. But nobody says the path is going to be easy and it's going to be short. And finally, the death card being over the whole reading implies that The old way of life that you're used to, or that you may have been used to, is coming to an end. Again, the universe doesn't like a vacuum, and conditions change, just as if a tree grows from a sapling to an old tree and then dies or falls down. That's the way life is. And even in the background of the death card, see the light, the sun shining between the two towers? That implies that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Everybody in the card is afraid of death except for the small child. You're begging death not to come. But when you do that, you're asking the universe not to change things for you. You want things to stay the same old way. And it can't do that. How else are you going to learn? New conditions bring new lessons. And that's what I have for you here in this reading. So I'm going to turn over the only card that does not have a meaning for me. The Queen of Cups. And 2 aces can mean a new commitment, engagement, or marriage. And I'm not talking about getting married. It can be a contract as a marriage. Look at the card. See the crown on the top of the sword? In olden days, that represented a proposal, one that's traditional. But there's no guarantee you're going to get married. It could be a new proposition, business proposition, a new contract, a new commitment to maybe doing things a different way. So I will look at the 3 cards, the only 3 cards I can look at, and see if there's a meaning relating to being by the Tower, the Hermit, the Devil, the Sun, and the Temperance. I'll even include death if there's any meanings about death. But first we look at the 4 of Swords. I noticed there's not one wand in the spread. And that speaks to me about maybe there is a lack of determination and focus after the event happens, and fire and passion. The 4 of Swords. Next to any ace, the 4 of Swords indicates that some long-term goals and plans need to be reassessed and reevaluated before proceeding. The 4 of Swords next to any ace may be telling you that although you may not be yet involved with any long-term plans or considerations, when they do arise, make efforts to check and recheck all aspects before proceeding, as some reevaluations and amendments are needed. So this is moderation and economy in all things. And that includes relationships, business relationships, self-care, moderation. I'll go to the Ace of Pentacles now. The Ace of Pentacles next to the Sun may be indicating that you will have success in regards to an important personal matter or project. It tells of reaching an important goal with satisfaction and happiness as a result. If this is talking about how hard you work to get what you want, that you get success. The Ace of Pentacles shows someone who has reached the top and found great success, fulfillment, and happiness from the endeavor. Now I look at the Ace of Swords, and I'm going to read to you what the Ace of Swords says. Ace of Swords can indicate a new adventure. Something changes. And you may be sure when the Ace of Swords appears, something is about to change and will have far-reaching consequences, as it's the most powerful ace in the deck. It implies that there is a focus on a critical and potentially volatile situation or circumstance. Remember, I said these together make 5 swords. So 5 swords indicate a conflict, but 3 swords tell me that there was a previous conflict. You may find yourself in a position of having to take action or make a decision under stressful circumstances. It is important that you keep emotions balanced in order to make the correct decision. It tells of the excessive degree of everything. It tells you that if you want changes in your life, then it is up to you to make them. It implies that this is a time of new beginnings and asks you to put the past behind you so that you move on to a more prosperous future. The Ace of Swords tell you to make long-term plans at this time because it will come to fruition. Indicates that success is now taking effect. Therefore, all worries will disappear in a short time. Long-term goals and plans should be made, as it is the most auspicious time. Put pessimism behind you. You may have a feeling of sadness, depression, and anxiety and wasted efforts. It carries with it the expectation that things will not work out as planned. And this is why I think you should be like the hermit. Think long and hard about what has happened or will happen. And I don't want to say conduct, but be more mindful of being of moderation and economy. Additionally, this card stands for a compromise. So you may be dealing with someone, you have to compromise with them, like to come to some kind of agreement. Okay, I don't need to pull any cards, Sibila cards. So what I'm gonna do is pull a Golden Nostradamus and a Second Oracle Tarot. And to me, this 4 of Swords to the Devil indicates that you will, I don't want to say will, you may work hard to rebuild what you have lost. I don't know what this is, but you feel as if the whole world is crashing down on you. But it's only a thought. The reality may not be that. Okay? Maybe at the end of this, you will see, like I said, some light at the end of the tunnel. But it's be new light. Something you never thought of before. There's that card. And now we'll pull a Golden Nostradamus. These are much more easier to rifle than the Psychic Oracle Tarot. Now, I don't want to get your hopes up, but the first card says harmony. The Six of Cups, the Lover's card. And the second card says the Ring. And maybe I said the two aces represent a new marriage, engagement, or commitment. That still holds true. But just remember that you may not be talking about love. It could be talking about the right partnership or the right contract. So let's read the cards. 6. Harmony. This card signifies the possibility that a deep spiritual initiation, partnership, or union is taking place at this time or is manifesting in the future. This doesn't always necessarily represent a love affair of the heart, but could signify other forms of relationships in your life, whether they're personal or business. That's why I preface it by saying what I said. Remember, not all partnerships have to be one-on-one. They can be forged with a group, an organization, a pet, or even an incident or situation. The Harmony card is calling to let you know it's time for you to make choices in certain relationships. The bonds you form with others are really about you. That's what I said. In the last reading, I had the Lover's card, the actual Lover's card out, and it said it's about the relationship. If there's trouble or something, it's really about you. Even in the most difficult situations, they're meant to be mirrors for you, always reflecting back what you need to see. Here are some questions to ask yourself. What am I learning from this relationship? What new qualities am I developing? Is this partnership for my highest good? How can I make it stronger? Are we teaching each other? What have I discovered, or am I still discovering? What am I discovering, or am still uncovering about myself through this union? Are the people in my life empowering me and encouraging me to be all that I can? Within every relationship, there's an encoded lesson that you hopefully gleaned, or in some cases, one that you still need to learn. The Ring. Also a 6. Where there is no love, there is no life. No life. Never a joy, only struggles and strife. A happy event is coming. For example, an engagement, a wedding, or an alliance. This card may announce family reunions or meetings with friends, their joy in sharing with someone. So I don't know what this reading is about, but something in your life is gonna change. It's inevitable. You can't change it. And so you have to think about what you're gonna do when it happens. What do you want for yourself? Good luck.